We're live.
We're live. Hi, great evening, everyone. Welcome to the Design to Win Academy's graduation and book launch program. It is such an honor to be hosting or to be the MC for this afternoon's program celebration. It has been a tremendous journey so far. What I've heard, what I've seen, it's just an awesome privilege to be with you. I know there are those joining us on Facebook and there are some persons here with us on Zoom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tell us where you're joining us from, and say hi, great evening to you. And again, welcome. My name is Tasharae Nicholson and I'll be your MC for this afternoon. Let us open with prayer. Father, we just want to give you thanks. We honor you, we magnify you, we glorify you in all the work that is done and is being done through the Design to Win Academy. Father, you will know the heart of this individual, Kamika Ruth Taylor, principal, the visionary, mighty God, this woman you have chosen to carry such a vision and to give birth to such a vision. Thank you, Lord, for this evening that is very, very much fruitful. We have come to this end and we know that at this point, it is for a new beginning, and we just want to honor you with glorifying all that you will do, all that will be said and done. May you be glorified in it. May others hear and come and experience. And we just want to give you thanks for this afternoon's program in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so at this time, I'm going to welcome the principal of the Design to Win Academy, Miss Sue Taylor. Make her welcome. Please send up some love. Click some hearts, share some stuff in the comment section and just welcome. Please make her feel welcome, all right? Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I want to welcome our parents. I see Paulette Williams in the building. I see our keynote speaker, Mr. Darron Hilaire Jnr. from Turks and Caicos in the building. Let's show them some love. I see our graduates in the building. I see Jalili Heath. I see Martin Lloyd Williams. And I know that Daniel is there. The parents are sharing a computer. It is so good to come to this juncture that started 3 years ago. And I just want to give God thanks, because when I started, I never imagined that it would have unfolded the way it has. And so what I'm going to do in my principal's report is just to give you the little backstory behind the Design to Win Academy and how my personal mentorship and discipleship program has now become a book publishing and personal development school for teens that is going to go global. And it reminds us that, despise not small beginnings. So you, like the oak tree, it starts as an acorn and then it expands into a powerful tree. In the Caribbean, we know about mango trees and orange trees. They don't always start out, they don't start out looking like a strong tree. But after a while, after watering and growing and developing, they eventually become something great. And this is what is happening. So even though you're only seeing 3 graduates, we're looking for impact multiplied. And so don't watch the numbers. And we are going big as if we had 100 students graduating. These are the pioneers. So I'm going to give you a report of what has taken place over the past 3 years and what is happening next. So bear with me while I queue up my PowerPoint to share what these wonderful teens have done and what the Lord has done. Again, I want to thank the friends and family who are joining us on Zoom and those who are joining us via Facebook. Share the link, and I am just going to share my screen now and give my report. I want to thank Tasharae Nicholson, who is also a publishing coach and author, for chairing this evening event for us. So let's go. All right, here we go. I trust that everyone is hearing me loud and clear. Let me know. Is everybody hearing me? Are you hearing me? Yes, no?
Yes, you're back. You're good.
Okay, good. All right, so this is the graduating class, our first graduating class from the Design to Win Academy 2021. It's not just a graduation, but a book launch. And the whole aim when I started 3 years ago in March 2019 was to help some young persons from my church and the community of Olympic Gardens to give them the foundation to win spiritually, personally, and financially. In 2011, I attended an event called Key Concepts, in which I was commissioned to disciple and mentor young persons. And eventually that led to a program called Daughters of Deborah. So I started with just young girls, eight young girls and a young mother as my assistant in the program. And that program went on for 2 years. And I felt that there was a little missing component. I wanted to give them something practical, even though it was worthwhile. And that got me thinking. And I felt during that time that I didn't put enough emphasis on even the spiritual aspect. So as I continued to tweak the program over the years, it ended up being a program that I focused only on young men. When I was at the Jamaican German Automotive School, I had at one stage about 30 odd young men who would meet with me in the morning. So what we called our Design to Win FIT program, which is Future Innovators Program. And this program went as far as Namibia in Africa, where we were reaching young people. And you know, discipleship and mentoring is not just something you do for a time. It is, for me, it's a command, plus I've been commissioned. So I was looking in 2019 for a new set of persons to pour into and wondering who those would be and how I would do it, given my busy schedule. And so I began praying, and the Lord laid these 3 young people on my heart. As a matter of fact, it was 4 of them, and 1 invited a friend, and eventually 2 dropped out of the program, but these 3 continued. And we had, remember, this was personal mentoring and discipleship, and we had 5 areas of focus where we would focus on God, who God is, because it's Christian-led, the Great Commission, which is, you know, to take the gospel to make Jesus known all over the world. And we would focus on our goals, which had to do with the personal development. We would focus on good works, giving back and getting involved in the lives of people and creating generational wealth. So in our first year, it was spiritual formation. So I'm just going to give highlights of that time. So we did a little foundation as young Christians, how you do Bible study. We talked about your role as priest, prophet, and king and managers of the earth. And we engaged in how would we share our faith. So we had a spiritual empowerment week. And then we went into the community, and it was the first time that some of them were actually sharing their faith. We also looked at breaking cycles. So we looked at the book of Ruth, how she was able to break cycles of poverty. We looked at relationships and all that kind of good stuff. And at the end of the year, I asked them if they wanted to continue. And the three of them, because it was three by this time, said yes. And so we entered year 2, which we were focusing on personal development. We wanted to create their 5-year plan, because these are, at the time, they're between, I think, 13 and 15. Daniel was the oldest at the time. And we wanted to put a roadmap together, because it's all about helping them to get it right. There are certain things that I wish I had learned as a young person, so that I would make the mistakes that I made as an adult. I didn't know how to manage money. I didn't know about goal setting. I didn't know how to plan holistically for my life. It was just spiritual and education, and I wanted to give them that foundation. So they created their 5-year plan. I found out, what is the career that you want? And I tried to introduce them to role models. So Josh wants to be a lawyer, so I had him meet a lawyer. Daniel was interested in accounting. Martin was interested in, fitness and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, because of COVID and stuff, he didn't get to meet a success model in that area. But Josh and Daniel got that opportunity. And then because of COVID, for a long time, I wanted to bring this program online, but it wasn't catching on. And we weren't able to continue meeting every Sunday, because we're meeting once per month, each Sunday at their home. And because of COVID, for months we didn't meet. So I added up the number of hours it would take to go through the Design to Win workbook and the program. And we had a boot camp. And I think it was a weekend boot camp, and it was awesome. A member of the first mentoring group, Antoinette Salmon, came and shared her story. And the parents were wowed. And the 3 students, my mentees, they were wowed. And then we ended the year by going on a field trip. I wanted them to see where I'm coming from, my humble beginnings. So I took them back to St. Mary to meet my grandmother and, where I lived. And, because sometimes we see people at a certain level and we need to know where they're coming from. So I took them on this books and travel trip, so they would see the places behind the book and where I'm from, because most of my books are memoirish. And that was a fun trip. So that was the highlight for year 2. At the end of year 2, I asked them, do you want to continue? And they said yes. And so year 3, I was saying, what am I going to do? And part of the thing why I stuck with these 3, because there were times when I didn't feel like it, and I would get dreams about them. And in my prayer times, I would get ideas what to do. So these 3 are part of a gifted family. The father and I, we got baptized together, and we have been in ministry. He's like my big brother. And they can draw and do all kinds of stuff. And for about 2 years, every week, people were asking me about children's books. And I kept saying, I don't do children's books, it's kind of technical. I don't want to venture into that. And then one morning, as I was praying, the Lord put on my heart, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for them. Don't you see the gifts in this family? And I said, yeah, because that can create generational wealth and add to what they're already doing. And he reminded me of the concept of the Learn and Earn program. So I said, but how is that going to tie in with what I do as a publisher and that kind of thing? And I recognize that many times when young people leave high school, they're not ready for young adult life. They're not ready for adulting. They're not in a position to earn a decent income. They have no skills. So some of them, if they can't continue their formal education, they have to go to Hart or somewhere to learn a skill. And sometimes even when they leave Hart, they're only getting like maybe $40,000 a week or a month, or $80,000 or something. They're not going to get even a decent salary at the beginning. And I said, what can we do? And then I said, but authors need help. And when we are publishing books, they need all kinds of services. So I said, I showed them all the possibilities of income with books and said that we're just going to do a basic program. We're going to run a pilot. I'm going to teach you a couple skills along with the skills that you have, and then you can earn from it. And so there began our Learn and Earn program. They learned book formatting, they did some transcription, and we had a little competition because it was about work ethics. I wanted them to get a feel of working with real clients and what work online looks like, because the future is digital. And so they would have to come to the sessions on time. They were working with real authors. They had to learn to respond to emails and to make sure they deliver work on time because they want good ratings and all of these stuff. So that was our skill development and income generation. And it was such a joy when they started earning and seeing that. But overall, it's a holistic program. And so I said, this program is evolving again. So it is now evolving, or has evolved, into a publishing school for teens and a personal development school where it's Christian-led, so we refer to Bible and stuff like that, but you don't have to be a Christian to be a part of it. And we're going to give you certain skills to make you ready for the work world so that you can start earning and contribute to even your CXC, say for college tuition. We're going to have scholarships in the future. You could be earning during the program, the 18 months program that we've developed. You're going to have an income generation challenge where we're going to challenge to earn your first 1,000 US online. Of course, the program comes at a cost, and we're going to put a link for you to register and that kind of thing. So that is what the 3 years has been about. And it's really about positioning young people to thrive early. So within 5 to 10 years after leaving high school, you should not be still dependent on your parents. You should be financially stable. You should be well-rounded, understand, matters of faith and family, plan for your future, and your next steps should be clearer so that you're not guessing what your next steps are. And this is a book that they worked on. It's dedicated to them and their parents. And the ebook is $2.99. And the paperback, I think, is $12.95. And this was a picture that we took together. And then Martin, you soon meet him, the valedictorian, he did the illustration for that. And Danielle, she did the formatting. So those were two essential skills that I said in the short space of time, at least, help them to develop that. I'm going to show you. So this is Martin collecting his first check. This is a book that they worked on. It became a bestseller on Amazon. Auntie Jojo Goes Vegan, formatted by Jalili Heath. We call him Josh. And this is one of the children's books. Martin formatted this. He didn't do the illustration. Another young person in Jamaica did the illustration. This was the first children's book that we worked on, The Talkative Boy. Martin did the formatting and helped me to design the cover. He didn't do the illustrations. And I'm just gonna show a brief video highlight of our time together and then turn over back to our MC. But the seeds we plant today will eventually become trees. And there's a pledge that I normally have us say together. And at the end of the video, I'm going to ask them to just come on screen, and we're going to say our Design to Win pledge. And this is a pledge that has helped me personally in my own life. And it is a reminder that there's greatness in them and that it is possible to live their dreams. But let's just watch this video highlight, and then we're going to say our pledge that we say at the beginning of each class session, and then I hand over to our MC. So this is mainly pictures, so just enjoy the highlights of our time together. All right. I'm going to ask Josh and Danielle and Martin to join me as we say our pledge to win together. All right. Where are you guys? Turn on your video, please. Martin, let's go. All right. So after 3, let's do this. 2, 3. There's greatness in me.
It's possible to live my dreams. No matter how bad it is.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it is, I'm going to make it.
With faith, courage,
and consistent action.
I'm going to make it. It's not over until I win. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Coach Tash.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Send some love. This report is rich, don't you think? Send some love, man. It's been quite a journey based on what I'm seeing and based on what I'm hearing. It has been holistic. It looks at every aspect of the individual, and just the fact that it prepares them. Wouldn't you have wanted? I mean, my viewers on Facebook and those on Zoom with us. Wouldn't you have wanted someone to prep you for life in terms of the real world? Because I don't think that school does this. There's a system that it prepares us for, but there's the real life aspect where we have to live out and make ends actually meet. And if we can start doing that from early, then let's get our children out and join this academy, right? You have done an excellent job. Kudos to you, Ruth. You have done, it is a great work I see you doing, and we appreciate you. I can speak because you have been my coach, and now to see the extension of your work to the teens, it is indeed something to be lauded. So congratulations to you and the team of teens that you have. And I mean, when I listen, when I play back in my mind, just the fact that the Lord specifically chose these 3 to the point where you're dreaming about it, it tells me that you have been obedient to a call. You have said your yes. And just by saying yes, just by saying yes, you have brought them to this place of fruition that they're even earning. They're earning their own dollars. This is something to celebrate. Just show some love to them, guys. Set up some hearts. I mean, comment. We want to hear what your views are. Persons on Facebook who are joining, and please share the live. Share. I can't say that enough. To share at this time, I'm going to share a clip of what what that embodies what has been shared by the principal herself. That was created as a promo. So I want you to just sit back and enjoy that for a minute, and then we will get into other parts of the program. Not hearing Ruth.
Now I was saying we may have to forego it because the audio is low on it.
Allow me to share.
Okay.
Please.
5 key areas so they can learn.
Go ahead, you can share.
Before leaving high school. Or youth will discover the keys to win in faith, family, finance, future planning, fruitful and fulfilling life and work. Our children don't have to wait until they leave high school to learn professionalism, work ethics, or freelancing in the gig economy. Join the Design to Win Academy, where we engage in holistic personal development training and introduce young people to the world of online work, a career in book publishing, and the freelancing gig economy. Course includes Designing Your Winning Future 101, Book Publishing 101, Work Online Now 101, Book Formatting 101, College Readiness 101, Designing with Canva 101, Millionaire Money Maps 101, How to Market and Monetize Your Skills 101, Author Support Skills Specialization, Income Generation Practical. There's also guidance for parents to further empower their children. Let's equip our children to win at life now. Register now at www.designtowinacademy.com.
And there you have it. I hope that you enjoy that clip. We can send it to you now so that you can promote it as well. But it really does speak to all that the program entails. And you get a better feel. You feel nice. So the little music and the video playing and all of these things. So yes, this is the Design to Win Academy. It's our graduation and book launch ceremony. And we thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this afternoon with us. At this time, we're going to have one of the graduates, Danielle Williams, who will be doing a book reading. She's going to read a specific chapter from the Design to Win book that they worked on. So please welcome Danielle. Make Danielle, cause her to feel welcome. Please send some love, send some heart. Don't withhold all that love from them. They have worked hard and we are celebrating them today. Welcome, Danielle.
Danielle?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Your video.
All right, we're gonna start now. On my journey of life, with its many disappointing twists and turns, it's the stories of others who have risen above the odds to win that have kept me going. I call these people models. They inspire me to win, and I am sharing some of my favorites in this chapter to inspire you to win from early. If they can do it, so can you. Usain St. Leopold is by far Jamaica's most famous citizen and is world renowned for his exploits in track and field. He is the greatest male sprinter. He is the greatest male sprinter in history. He holds the record for the fastest 100 meters of all time. By age 21, he has achieved triple Olympic gold medals. His signature winning pose is now known all over the globe and is used by Jamaicans as a part of their identity whenever we travel across the world. He is a 9-time Olympic gold medalist. He is a reigning champion at the time of his retirement from the sport in 2017 at the age of 31. He made history as the only sprinter to win the Olympic 100 and 200 meters titles at three consecutive Olympics: 2008, 2012, and 2016. Nevertheless, none of his achievements would have been possible had it not been for the sticks surrounded by him, including his father, who spotted his potential at an early age and encouraged him to pursue the athletics. Bolt's mother and father were his strong support. Bolt was not always the confident athlete we see today, and he was not always winning. According to the documentary series, The Fastest Man Alive, at age 15, he cried before his first big meet. He did not feel he could compete with the other athletes. So encouraged by his grandmother and mother, he competed and won. He furthermore competed and won. Furthermore, in Bolt's first Olympics in 2004, he did not even make it to the finals. He placed sixth in his first heat. After that, he got another stick. His coach, the world-renowned Jamaican Glenn Miles, who expertly guided him to become the world champion that we know. They clearly had a design to win, which was wonderfully executed. Bolt's success dispelled the myth that you can't stay in Jamaica, a developing country, and become a world-class athlete. Previously, the trend was for Jamaica's rising star athletes to go overseas to make it. Bolt proved otherwise, and so have other athletes. Bolt has received national and international acclaim and recognition. There is much more to Bolt's story that we can learn from. I hope this bit will inspire you to become a young achiever. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Shelly-Ann is Usain Bolt's female counterpart. She is possibly the greatest female sprinter in all of history. Like Bolt, according to Wikipedia, she won her first gold medal in the 100 meters at the age of 21. She became the first woman in Olympic history to win 3 consecutive gold medals in the 100 meters. She is the only female to be crowned world champion for over 100 meters 3 times, 2009, 2013, and 2015. She is also the only female athlete to reign as both world and Olympic champion on separate occasions. In 2013, she became the first female sprinter to win gold medals in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4 by 100 meters in a single world championship. Fraser Price was the first woman to own IAAF world titles at 60 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4 by 100 meters relay. And is the only woman ever to hold them all simultaneously. Although Shelly-Ann did not start out winning, she rose above her inner city environment in Waterhouse, Kingston, Jamaica, to be a world-class athlete. Shelly-Ann's family was economically challenged, and her mother had financial struggles. However, some sticks came along her to hold her up and help her rise to the top. These sticks came in the form of scholarships throughout high school. She also had a great coach, Stephen Francis, who skillfully guided her to win. Today, Shelly-Ann is producing shoes. She has a foundation that provides scholarships for high school students. Shelly-Ann has also received national and international acclaim and recognition. And although there is much more to her story, this should be enough to inspire our children to win and become young achievers. I'm finished.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you so very much. I am inspired. So if I am inspired, you all can be inspired too. It's such a heartwarming story. We all see Shelly and Fraser, and it just goes to show that we all have a story. We're all coming from somewhere, and it doesn't matter where your starting point is, you can make it, you can win. And Design to Win Academy is just one of the we'd call it the vehicle to take you to your desired end, but we must first have that vision. We must first write it down. We must first identify it. In fact, in the principal's report, I heard her mentioning them writing out their 5-year plan. So that too is accommodated. So I think it is really a tremendous program and tremendous initiative for young persons to join and know what it is like to lack purpose, to feel like, I don't know if I can make it because mommy don't necessarily have it, or how will I actually do this thing because I have big dreams. Try Design to Win Academy. All right, at this time, we're going to have a little interview segment, just a short little bit of interview to find out from the graduates what it was like over the last 3 years being a part of the Design to Win Academy. And of course, the link has been posted for those who might be interested or know others who have teams that could benefit from such a program. So go ahead and click the link, share the link, and let's hear from you. At this time, I'm gonna speak with the graduates. As I said earlier, I'm gonna start with Martin Williams. And the same question goes around for each person. First question is, what was your best and what was your worst moment throughout the 3 years that you have been a part of it? So we'll have Martin, and then we'll have Danielle, and then Jalil.
Should I ask you all to just come on screen, please? So we can see your faces.
Thank you. This is Martin.
I wouldn't say there was a bad moment. But there was a lot of fun moments though.
Share with us one of your fun moments.
Yeah. One of them. Learning to illustrate. Because it's my first time illustrating, and that was fun. Yeah, that was one of them. And
Okay.
I'm going to give you two. And visiting Kamika, family. Yeah, visiting her family. That was one of them.
What was that like for you?
It was good. It was good because Kamika was always a part of our family. And to get to meet her family was a good experience. Our grandmother per se, not all of her family, but it was good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Danielle? What was your best moment?
Danielle, unmute.
My best moment was meeting his family and getting my first paid job. My favorite part about meeting her family was meeting her grandmother, rather, was she told us a lot of stories. She told us about growing up. She told us how Kamika was like, but we already know. Gave us a background of Kamika growing up, and we learned a lot of things. They taught us stuff, showed us stuff, and it was very enjoyable. Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Okay, lovely. You know, you all are going to have to tell me about Kamika's grandmother because everybody seemed to love Kamika's grandmother. So it's making me interested in, meeting Kamika's grandmother. Jalili, tell us, what was your best moment?
My best moment was when I learned to do the transcription job and I got my first pay. Felt very good to get my own money. So I would say that was my best moment in the class.
Of course, one of the main benefits of this program is the fact that you learn and earn. So of course, what about over the last 3 years, right? What were those years, individual years, like for you, since you had to focus on different areas over those period of time? And what was most memorable out of the 3 years? Because I know Principal Taylor spoke about the spiritual aspect, the spiritual, the financial and personal development, right? So I want for you, in the same order, Martin, Danielle, and Jalili, tell us, what were those 3 years like for you over the period of time and what was most memorable? I know you talk about best moments, but what was most memorable? Because you told me you had fun as well. So share with us.
Most memorable for me. I guess my first pay. Yeah, that was it.
But what I got to understand that at the end of year one, you were asked, like you were literally asked at the end of each year, do you want to continue? What about the program? What about Coach Ruth that caused you to continue? What was it that kept you going?
Firstly, she asked nicely. I was I was one of them. I'm just joking. It was a good experience. So I just wanted to continue and I saw the benefits. So yeah, and it's Kamika. So
But you know, we want to hear a little bit about the benefit. You can't just say that there were benefits, you know, like we know that
Okay.
you got the money part because we hear the money part, but speak to the benefits for us because we would like to hear, because there are other parents on and we want them to know what those benefits are that their children will gain.
I would say the spiritual benefits, some of that part was beneficial because we went into the Bible more. And witness too. That was part that was coming out of my comfort zones. That was something. Yeah. I would just learn more from the Bible, and it was enjoyable and not really like church per se. It was just like more enjoyable, I think, and more you can relate with more youth the way she taught to us and make us learn more Bible and things. Yeah, so I guess that was part of it. It was beneficial.
Thank you. That does it. She has that thing for the youths, right? How about you, Daniel? Tell us.
My most memorable
What were your
part
3 years over the last 3 years? What were the years like?
meeting her family overall and meeting the accountant. It was very good. It was very inspirational. We learned a lot over the 3 years. We got to know Kamika a little more. We just learned a lot from her, and I'm really grateful. She really stuck with us and saw potential in us, because personally for me especially, I just feel like she's one person that really saw a lot of potential, a lot of potential inside me. So I got to come out of comfort zone, my comfort zone also, and she just really stuck beside me, and she never gave up. She never gave up on me. So I think that what came with her personality that really kept me going. So I was very thankful for that.
I love to hear it. Jalili, what says you? What were the last 3 years like for you individually? Why did you keep going?
For me, the last 3 years was fun. It gave you a kind of rush. I don't know. It was sometimes it was a bit stressful because I have school also, so I had to be juggling and managing my time, which is something that Kamika taught us how to manage our time, proper time management. So the last years has been very fun for me and exciting. I've gained a lot from the 3 years. Spiritually, with Kamika, it was my first time witnessing to someone. I've never done that before, so it was fun doing it. It was a bit nervous. I was nervous at first, but once I started to talk, we were just kind of flow, and it was very interesting. I just didn't want to let it go, the whole class and thing. I didn't want to let it go. I still don't want to let it go in a way, because I'm learning a lot, and I know that there's a lot I could learn, a lot more I could learn. So I don't really want to let it go, but I guess I have to. So yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so very much. I hear a lot coming out, but I hope that my audience on Facebook are listening, and those on Zoom, you are really hearing these heartfelt shares from the graduates in terms of what the principal, the visionary, has been doing and what she has done for these three and can do for your teens as well. And it doesn't only benefit them in the personal development aspect, there's that financial benefit. Hello, they might be making more than you, I'm sorry. But the truth is the market, the gig economy is there. And it's not being rude, it's not being facetious or anything like that. It's just to tell you that there's this investment that you make of your time. And just the fact that when Danielle read, she spoke about the fact that Usain Bolt's dad saw potential and nurtured that. And even now, that's what Kamika Ruth Taylor is doing. She's seeing the potential, she's unearthing it, she's nurturing it. And you hear from the teens themselves, you're not hearing it from my mouth, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. But one final thing, would you, I think the last thing I'm going to ask is, would you recommend this program and why? Because I think you have answered a 2-in-1. So would you recommend this program and why?
So I'm going to go first on this one. I don't see a reason not to recommend the program, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of benefits from it. You learn a lot. You earn money for yourself. And it's just a fun experience. The whole program itself is just a fun experience. And Kamika is just a great teacher. I don't know if she went to school for teaching or not, but she's a good teacher, and her teaching technique is very different, but it is very effective. So I don't see a reason not to recommend the program.
Thank you, Jalili. Martin.
Okay. Why would I recommend this? I would recommend this because, as I said, it's very beneficial, very educational in different ways. You learn about business, you learn about money management strategies, you learn work ethic, you learn you grow physically and spiritually. I mean the time it takes. You learn a lot. Yeah, I say you learn a lot. And
If I may help you there, you keep emphasizing on learning a lot. So, and you are still in school. So could you make the distinction? Because I get what you're saying, but you have yet to really say it. You learn a lot. So, right. It is the hands-on aspect.
You learn things that can benefit you, like really benefit you in the real world. Because some things in school, some of the things they're teaching you, not really gonna help you like that, unless you're going for a special a specific career. And these you can develop different skills that can help you to earn for yourself online, and you don't have to work in 9 to 5 and stress yourself. You can learn skills you want to learn and gain money, without being stressed.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Martin. And we leave the rose in the bunch for last. Danielle.
Yes, I would definitely recommend, because it just teaches you about the real world, about it. It gives you an open eye of what the working field looks like, and it teaches you different things in the working field. It just opens new and different opportunities for a teenager, for someone who wants to earn for themselves. They can even earn to start to just help out their parents, and to just build yourself as an individual to, like, say, for future purposes, and it just helps to learn more about yourself, even spiritually. And it's just a very, very, very good course. And the mentor, she is a great person. She's a great teacher. She sees potential, and she really wants something out of you, and she really helps you to really see your own potential. And she's just a person that it's not really easy to really give up when she's a teacher. She just helps her to keep going, and that's just something really special to me, and that's something that I really love her for, and I'm just grateful. So it's really a good course. So I would really encourage persons, because you wouldn't regret it. You wouldn't regret it at all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin, Jalili, and Daniel. Thank you so much. It has been rich hearing from you. At this time, I hope that our viewers on Facebook are still with us, and they're engaged and they're enjoying the information that is coming forth. And those who will rewatch, because we know not everybody is currently available, but I trust that you're finding these testimonials very beneficial, and to know that your children, your teens, will be entrusted in the care of one who actually knows what they're doing, or will actually catch on to something that you as a parent might miss, which will also benefit you and your family. So I trust that you are listening keenly. At this time, I'm going to welcome Martin once again to do the valedictory speech. Send up some heart, show some love, man. I know we've been talking long, but show some love. With the hearts, with the like, some emojis works. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow guests. Good evening, classmates who are also my sister and cousin, friends, family. Also, good evening, everyone watching the book launch of Kamika Ruth Taylor's book titled Designed to Win Young Achievers, which is also the same time as our graduation for a 3-year program. I hope that everyone is having a lovely evening. And to those who aren't having a lovely evening, that's tough. I'm joking. I hope your days improve. I'm 16 years old. I'm also the valedictorian of the 3-year program, hence why I'm giving the valedictorian speech. It has been 3 years gaining information, receiving guidance that will be beneficial on our walk of life. We just graduated, but this is just the end of a part of our lives and the beginning of a new. Yes, we've grown physically, mentally, maybe more mentally than physically. Well, I'm taller than all of my family members, so maybe equal amount. Spiritually, I learned new skills, but this will be the test to see if you would use the skills you've developed to earn, or don't use it at all and make years pass with no signs of growth and be the same at this moment, but with less time. That said, I want to congratulate you for making it through the 3 years and for pushing yourself on the days you wanted to relax. In the end, all of us can agree that this was one of the best things we've been involved in, but it all comes to an end today. Up until this point, it has been fairly straightforward, each year leading logically to the next, our path clearly set and defined, but here we are, with boundless freedom and potential, each to design the future that is solely ours. The decision we make each day steers the course of our lives, and this never ceases to be true. Destiny is not preordained. It is easy to be filled with hope and excitement and simply state that our lives shall be great. It is to forget how you feel right now and fall into quiet complacency. But I advise you, you should strive each day and move forward. This goes to the graduates and everyone listening. We will not succeed immediately, but that's fine. A lack of success becomes failure when you allow it to defeat you. Even to not succeed at a goal is not failure, only to give up without truly trying. Sometimes there is luck involved or factors beyond our control in the achievement of our goals. And it's natural if our dreams shift and change with time, but we are always better for having to pursue them. This academy and Kamika has been a blessing to us. I will be forever grateful. She made it enjoyable while educational. Hashtag give the school system some tips. We looked at spiritual formation, did an overview of the Bible, met new people that told us about their experiences and the people they met on the way. We learned about business and accounting. That was just the end of year one. After that, a couple talked to us about sex and relationships. We had a boot camp where Antoinette shared her story, very inspirational, by the way, and ended year two with a trip where we met Kamika's family, which was cool because Kamika has always been part of the family, and I'm glad we got to meet hers. We wrote our 5-year plan, went into income generation, skill development, learned 2 publishing skills, earned and developed some work ethic. This is a full package. School is important, but I'd take this over school any day. In a full package, it's a full package. But I want to end this off by saying to the graduates, though our paths might differ, we are all equal in that there are limitless possibilities before us, and those possibilities will remain limitless so long as we choose to keep them so. It might not be easy, but that's what makes the rewards worth it. We have a long journey ahead of us. We've already come far. Today is a day to celebrate your accomplishments, even though it might seem small in some way. But today we mark an important milestone on our path. Ahead of us stands life and its beauty and not so beautiful parts. Ahead of us stands the people we are to meet. Ahead of us stands the dreams we are to realize. Ahead of us stands life. Let us go through it boldly and without regret. Ahead of us stands life. Let's live it.
Thank you so very much, Martin. That was well done, well said. Thank you so very much. And at this time, I will be paying a tribute to the graduates. I trust that you will enjoy my tribute and be blessed. All right. Some dreams live on in time forever. And those dreams we want with all our heart. And I'll do whatever it takes. Follow through with the promise I made. Put it all on the line. What I hoped for at last will be mine. If I could read Just for one moment, touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best and put my spirit to the test. If I could read some days are meant to be remembered. Those days we rise above the stars. So I'll go the distance this time. Sing more, the higher I climb. That the more I believe, all the more that this dream will be mine. If I could reach higher, just for one moment, touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best and put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, if I could reach higher, just for one moment, touch the sky. For that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best and put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, just for one moment, touch the sky. For that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best and put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, hey. Amen. If I could reach higher. And you have heard them saying over and over just how high they have reached and intend to go. And we just want to thank God for this program. We want to thank God for Kamika and her yes. And I don't want to talk too much, but just from this to say that it's important to give our yes. It's important to give our heart to our yes, because you've heard the hearts of these young people this afternoon, and your child, your cousin, your sibling, somebody for you can benefit from this program. Don't forget to share the link. Don't forget to register. Don't forget to spread the word. At this time, we're going to invite Jalili Heath to introduce to tonight's guest speaker. Welcome, Jalili.
So I would like to take this time to welcome this man. Oh, shit.
Please turn on your camera, Jalili.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. That's all right.
So I would like to take this time to welcome this man. Be gone.
It's
my
okay,
camera
go ahead.
Because I'm looking through the.
It's okay.
I'd like to welcome this hardworking man, a man of diligence, a man who sees his purpose in life is to help men discover their purpose, maximize their potential, overcome odds, and live meaningful and happier lives. He is the head of brand marketing and communications for Flow, Turks and Caicos, the leading full-service communications and entertainment provider in the Turks and Caicos Islands. He's been awarded the 2017 to 2018 National Young Achievers Medal by the government of the TCI and awarded the 2019 to 2020 Junior Humanitarian of the Year Award by the Turks and Caicos Islands Human Rights Commission. Recently, he is the host of a new radio show on RTC 89.1 FM called Awakening Possibilities, where he is changing the world one conversation at a time. Please help me welcome Mr. Darron Hilaire.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Good evening.
Okay, everyone can hear me?
Good evening.
Good evening. You're sounding well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for such a warm introduction. I really enjoyed that, and I've been enjoying this entire evening so far and watching all of you blossom at the hands of someone who is also very dear to me. So you guys don't own her. And I think, like many of you, just her being who she is has activated me in so many ways, and just watching her grow and blossom in the ways that God has designed her has been a very, very good inspiration for me to have, and just has been causing me to think, quite a bit leading up to this time. Just some of the thoughts that have passed through my mind is what would it have looked like? And I think many of you probably have asked, well, not asking it, but are also living it. Well, what would it have looked like had you grown up next door to an author, and not just an author, but someone who has authored as much as over 20 books, right? What would it have looked like? What would my life have looked like had I had the skills and the training and the access to some of the things that you have had through this program? Where would I have been had I had that? And then also, like, what is purpose if not going back to help to fill some of the gaps that you would have fell in? And I think, Kamika, having been through this process several times and realizing some of the pitfalls of a lot of students in the education system, has accepted the vision that God has put in her heart for young people, and for education in a way that, many of us or many institutions are not doing it. And I think it is such a wonderful thing that this is something that she has put out into the world and has given shape and form and a platform, and used, her influence to push and to drive and to bring so many young people along with her for that ride and for that journey, and to honor their stories and their journeys in such a powerful way in this format. So just to say, Kamika, to begin with, just thank you for this opportunity. Graduates, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I know she is very dear to you. She and I both hold a passion for young people, and the young people that we work with and mentor, we hold, even in many cases, as our own kids. It is such a wonderful thing and such a wonderful miracle, just to be able to watch someone grow up in front of you. That's not something that many people get to witness and get to see. And so I share that passion with her, and just join her and celebrating with each of you tonight. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so I'll try to be very brief with my presentation. And what I'd like to talk to you about for a bit this evening is really just some traditional paths to success that I think most people sort of attribute success to, and also some untraditional ways to look at success as a container of sorts for the vision and the skills that you hold and you possess now, having come through this program, and how you cast a vision, how you apply your lives going forward into the near future as you graduate from this program that I believe it's just not just a graduation of young people, but it's a birthplace of industries of the future that will definitely become household names. That is something I wholeheartedly believe that this program will achieve in its time. In its time of existence, and as it grows and takes form and shape and becomes even more of a powerhouse in the Caribbean and by extension, the rest of the world. One of my personal philosophies and convictions over the last few years has become that anything that the masses or the greater percentage of our local or even our international population is celebrating is something I think we should probably seek to either avoid or abandon in our personal lives. Because what I've found is that in my almost 3 decades of living, is that real success is neither loud or expressive. Sound wisdom is hardly ever boastful or mainstream worthy. And a life well lived is rarely celebrated the way that it should be. Yet I found that, so many of us have pledged our allegiance to the opposite of these things. And we're living in an era that values, I believe, entertainment over education, whereby at the very least, teens like yourselves and young adults are of the opinion that if all else fails, if school doesn't work out, then at the very least, they can become a YouTuber. And, because having gone through this program, I know that that doesn't have to become your fate and that your ceiling of ambition is much higher than that. And we're living in a world where also, unfortunately, you could be on the cover of Forbes magazine or Essence or any A-list worthy magazine publication as one of the top entrepreneurs in your industry on one hand, and on the other hand, also be an abusive and an absent father and still be praised as the man of the year or the next one to watch. And sometimes I have to ask myself, watch what? And we live in a time where people have, very heavy appetites for content, but they have very little appetite for character and character formation. And we consume content, at an almost embarrassing rate, sometimes preloading and overloading our minds with hours of video and messaging about other people's lives and other people's ideas and other people's ways of living, and coveting after things that we don't have, but we believe that we need to feel good within ourselves. And then the last thing is that I think we live at an hour where we're made to believe that enough is a myth. The order of the day, it seems, is speed. How can we get there faster? How can we get there sooner? How can we get there now? And there is this elusive idea and this message that this kind of lifestyle is sending, that we can somehow bypass time, that we could somehow bypass processes, that we can all achieve success overnight if we sell ourselves enough, if we hustle enough, and if we're this enough, and if we're that enough. And scarily, what I believe is happening is that this kind of thinking is fostering a generation that is living out of fear of not being enough and not doing enough and not having enough, and a generation that simply does not know how to say enough. And one of the things that I'm most afraid of today, for this generation, and when I say this generation, I'm not just talking about young people in particular, but everyone that exists in this dispensation and time, is that we're headed very fast in the wrong direction. And I think one of the things we're seeing, for the first time in history is a generation that is over medicated, whether on prescription drugs or harmful drugs, a generation that is over celebrated thanks to social media, and a generation that is quite simply overworked. And I think this is just about the greatest recipe for disaster. And in this generation, I think what we're witnessing for the first time is a world that has simply gone mad. And there's a survey, some 77% of American employees responded to a recent national survey, rather, that reported that at least one instance of burnout in 2021. More than half of them could cite multiple times where they have simply reached the end. And when I look at the Bible, I don't see where that message, that lifestyle aligns with the design that God had in mind for our days and for our time. Even God himself, after 6 days of working, said, enough. This is good. And it is with this model, this conviction, this image in mind that I believe we must approach success and approach designing our lives and maximizing our creative potential. Because often when we hear the word, success, it's normally associated with something to attain, like power, something to achieve, goals, or something to have, some form of possession. And I believe that these things, while they're good, they can also be counterproductive to real lasting success that leaves room for what I like to call the forgotten fruits, like joy and peace and wonder and grace and beauty and seasons. And I like to say that, we've traded the forgotten for the forbidden. We have given our personal power away to things that are lesser than what God, has created us and designed us for. And I think to myself sometimes, what if the way we think about success is what is causing more decay in the world and in our souls than it is causing renewal and hope? And what if the way we're approaching success is self-destructive? Would we still hunger for it the way that we do if we come to that realization? But what I want to offer today, even above that, is what if there is a better way? And I'm not going to attempt in any way to define success for you, but I do want to help you to think about what I think success is not, so that you avoid becoming successful in the wrong thing, because I do think we could do that. And there are a lot of people that are becoming successful, but my prayer to God daily is, God, don't allow me to become successful in the wrong thing. And so there are three things I think, we should avoid as we consider success and as we cast our vision for the new year, and just think about ways that we'll realize and utilize the skills that you've garnered in this program and apply yourselves going forward. One of the things I think that you first need to avoid is speed, or better yet, what a lot of culture, a lot of media is talking about as hustle and burnout, right? But I simplify it just by saying speed. One of the principles I believe in tremendously, and this was highlighted by a Jamaican-born author, Malcolm Gladwell, who wrote a book called Outliers. And in this book, he talks about a principle that I subscribe to, called the 10,000-hour rule. And as Gladwell tells it, he says the key to mastering or becoming successful in any field is simply a matter of practicing a specific task that can be accomplished in 20 hours a week for 10,000 hours, or what amounts to 10 years. And it doesn't mean that it'll take that long for you to publish a book or to bring a product to market or to achieve anything really. But it does imply that it might take that long to perfect or at least master a particular skill or a particular thing. And as young people, one of the things I think you have to your advantage is time. And one of the greatest blunders to your success, therefore, I believe, will be your impatience. If you could focus on the skills, if you could focus on the information, the lessons you've been garnering in this program for the next 10 years and work at them, work and continue to work at them, in healthy ways and in the context of your own lives, whatever that looks like for you now, you'd be much closer to achieving mastery by age 25, while many of your friends and your peers are continuously and perpetually just chasing the next new thing. But you, within the next 10 years, if you discipline yourself, if you learn how to focus yourself and slow down around the things that are important to you, slow down around the ways that God has designed you, and really put time and energy and effort into becoming the best version of yourself, you'll be that closer to mastery than the vast majority of your generation. And so my first encouragement to you, as you consider the next year, as you consider the next 12 months, as you consider the next school year, is not to speed up, but it is in fact to slow down. And in a world that celebrates moving at 100 miles per hour, slowing down is what makes you rare, and it is what makes you valuable. The other thing I think that is worth avoiding is what I like to call social media suicide. One of the things we're most familiar with as Caribbean people is a marketplace. It is the place where we go to shop around. It's the place where we go to connect with others. And there's just an array of different personalities we encounter along the way as we gather our stuff and as we get the things that we need. But I think in this generation, we've traded our traditional marketplace settings for modern marketplaces of social media. And instead of shopping for organic experiences and fresh creations, we swipe left and we swipe right to shop for new identities to try on. We are being told every day to be more like this and to do more of this and to add more of that in order to be seen, in order to be noticed, in order to be accepted, in order to be liked. And the measuring stick of success, of our success, is not how we grow from within anymore, but is how we compare to what exists on the outside of us. And in order to become successful, the invitation from social media most of the times is that we have to sacrifice ourselves. And we have thousands of examples of people who have mastered social media by becoming successful at being someone else. But true success, I believe, doesn't ask us to sacrifice ourselves on the altar of social media. We have thousands of people every day who are dying not from guns and not from weapons, but from social media suicide. As young influencers in your own right, anything that asks of you less than your authentic self and the way that God has designed you to be is a size too big or a size too small. The third thing I think is worth avoiding, and don't take this wrong, is celebrity status. I think one of the things we've seen more and more in the last few years with celebrities is celebrities who have identified themselves as having significant struggles with mental health, and who are speaking up about abuse, and who are calling out big name brands for things like misogyny and abuse of power and poor standards of working and management that have left teen stars and young adult stars and even A-list celebrities broken and even suicidal in some cases. And I think one of the things we've failed to realize is that what we produce flows out of who we are, and it's not the other way around. And celebrities have the unfortunate burden of being what everyone else wants them to be, doing what everyone else thinks that they should, and managing the expectations of thousands of people that they truly don't even know in most cases to maintain a certain status. I, for one, am not against power or celebrity status. I believe it's something we can use well. But when our doing precedes our being and who we're becoming, and when our desire for achievement and the spotlight overrides our discipline around who we're becoming, our status will always get the best of us. And the lives we produce will be far beneath the quality that it should ever be. I think those are three of the things that we must learn to avoid. That is speed, social media suicide, and pursuing status and celebrity-esque, right? Without becoming who we're meant to be first. Our becoming has to precede our doing, and we have to keep watch over what is being formed in us and who we're being formed into, and the influences that are shaping those two things. But I think the real keys to success, I believe, fall into three categories that I'll describe very briefly as I bring this to a close. I think the first real key to true success is hiddenness. And that's not something that is often shouted from mainstream media. That's not something we often see in a lot of books that talk about winning and talk about success. But the idea of hiddenness. I believe that there can be no fruitfulness without there first being a season of hiddenness. Every seed has to first be buried for a season and go through a process of growth that is, for the most part, unseen before we ever see a fruit. And so I tell people often, I don't trust the fruit of unprocessed people. And so my encouragement to a lot of people, my encouragement to you, is to pursue hiddenness and be content in the moments when growth does not meet with celebration or awards and applause. And I know today for you is a day of celebration. It is a moment worth celebrating because you've gone through the process. You've done the work. You've gone through seasons of being unseen and being uncelebrated and allowed yourself to take root. And I think these are the moments where strong roots are being formed for lasting success. But don't forego your season of hiddenness, because it produces your season of fruitfulness, and it always produces your season of fruitfulness. The second thing I think is worth pursuing, or the second key that I believe of true success, is formation, because who you become informs what you will produce. A lot of people are so fixated on what can I produce, shopping around for ideas. What can I do now? What can I do next? What can I do 2 years from now? We're so focused on producing and producing and producing. But if your producing overrides your becoming, you will self-sabotage. So who you're becoming informs what you will produce. And so pay attention to who you're becoming, pay attention to what is being formed in you. Because growth happens over time. It comes from choosing to make the most out of the season you're in. It comes from accepting the invitation to participate in your life, to step into whatever is in front of you, and to have the resiliency to allow yourself to be shaped and sharpened by the season that you're in right now. I was speaking to one of my mentors earlier today, and I was telling him about, this event tonight, and telling him that, realistically, there are only about 3 or 4 major things we can truly accomplish and do well in a particular year. And everyone that is promoting, the 101 ways that they've won this year, have sacrificed something that is important to them, or important in order to do that. They've sacrificed their health. They've sacrificed their marriages. They've sacrificed, their schoolwork. They've sacrificed their relationship. They've sacrificed something in order to be these super producers, right? But God created us with human limitations. He created us as limited beings, and I think sometimes when we try to exhaust those limitations, is when we become sick, and when we become our own blunders to our own success, because what the monies that you're making in your program, which or through your program, or the monies that you were able to make through this program, what you should have been putting into production, you end up putting into recovery, because you have health needs now, you have health challenges or different challenges that are popping up because you allowed your producing to override your becoming. You dishonored the fact that you have you're operating within as a limited being, with limitations that God has designed you to work in. And you've not allowed yourself to come to the place where you've accepted that enough is enough sometimes. And sometimes you just have to say enough. And so I told them, one of the things that will greatly inform, my personal vision over the next year is not only what I will achieve, not only the goals that I will achieve, but the person that I want to become. Because we usually get to the end of the year and we ask ourselves, well, what did I accomplish? And while I think it's important to ask that, as an important question to ask, I wonder what it would mean if we go into 2022 and beyond, thinking not just only what I will accomplish, but who am I becoming? And I told this story recently to someone, how the education system does something well. It teaches us how to perform. And even in our younger years as kids, our parents teach us how to perform for grades and for the things that we want. And they say, if you do well at this, or if you perform well at this, you'll get this. And if you get so many grades, you'll get awarded this and that. And so we've created this culture of performance. But what that does, and I think what happens is that a lot of us as adults don't outgrow that and don't realize that when we come, and for instance, into the faith, and when we come to God, who says salvation is a gift I'm giving you, and joy is a gift I'm giving you, and success is a gift I'm giving you, and these things are a gift I'm giving you. Unconsciously, what we tell God is, I haven't performed yet, so I can't accept these things. And we don't know how to accept these gifts from God because we're on this hamster wheel of performance, and we think performance is the way out, performance is the way to success, performance is the way for us to get to the means, to the end that we want. But God is saying to you, I delight in you. I delight in the way that I've made you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. He is so invested in who you're becoming and who he has made you to be in the way that he's designed you. And he delights in you. And the concept of delight is such where delight says, I like who you are, even if you don't do another thing. I want to say that again. Delight says, I like who you are, even if you don't do another thing, even if you don't produce another thing, even if you don't achieve another thing. And so sometimes I think we get stuck on this wheel of performance and success and profits, and we try to get to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, but we don't pause to delight in who we're becoming and who God made us to be over the course of a year, over the course of a month, right? And so many things are happening in the world, and we have to learn how to slow down and see our lives through the lens of delight, and see our lives through the lens of God saying, this is enough, and you are enough, and this is good, right? And learn to put a full stop at the end of that page, put a full stop at the end of that book. Because I think one of the most dangerous things we can do is put a comma where God has put a full stop. And so I think the second key to success is about formation, who we are becoming. And then lastly, I think the last key to success, or the result of these two things is we get to enjoy a season of fruitfulness and a season of harvest and a season of celebration, which brings us to moments like tonight. My greatest admonition to people today echoes one of my favorite passages in Genesis. And I tell people this: be fruitful. You are a multiplier. And when you've come through seasons of study and preparation and training and practice like you have through this program, and even in other ways and areas of your life, make room for harvest. Make room for the harvest of joy. Make room for the harvest of smiles. Make room for the harvest of peace. Make room for the harvest of profits. Make room for the harvest of relationships. Make room for the harvest of books written and published. Make room for the harvest of dreams realized, the harvest of good success. Because after seasons of training, and after seasons of preparation, and after seasons of hiddenness, come seasons of fruitfulness and seasons of success. And so I say to you today in closing, hold fast to a holy inspiration, because where your inspiration comes from matters. And use the skills that you have been blessed with. Honor the way that God has designed you, and multiply your impact in the world. Thank you, and it is a pleasure having had this time with you tonight. And I wish you every success, and God bless each of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hilaire. Oh my God, like, wow, I am wowed out, okay? Because you preached like past the offering plate, no? Because, I mean, it's you sounded just very simple on the air, but what you did was to wet the ground, the soil. You prepared the heart and you delivered the word. And I just hope that our audience on Facebook really took some notes. Our audience here on Zoom really took some notes, because I have taken my notes, right? And formation is key. Don't lose yourself producing. Pay attention to your becoming. Like this. These are sound words. These are powerful words. I mean, just the fact that I've had life experiences and to now be at this point where I'm hearing this soundness, this wisdom, take it from me. Take it from Mr. Hilaire. He's a man of wisdom. That's all I can say. Thank you so very much for your time, for the effort that you have put in. Like, you have delivered, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I can't say thank you enough, but thank you, thank you. At this time, we're gonna have the certification presentation by our principal, Kamika Ruth Taylor. Welcome once again.
Wow, good evening, everyone. Wow, Darron, that was, oh my goodness. I told you, you're not even 30 yet, but the wisdom that is flowing from you is almost Solomonic. And that is why we brought you here. I trust that Josh and Danielle and Martin got something. I just got a slap all over my face. Don't let producing interfere with your formation, because you feel it. Some of my health challenges have come because I haven't said enough is enough. Mighty God, that was a slap, but a good slap. So thank you so much. Wow. It wasn't just for the kids, it's for all of us who are here tonight. And so we come to this part of celebration. What are these kids getting at the end of it? Well, they've learned a skill. And the whole thing was that they would learn skills that would at least help them to help authors to market and publish their books. But the truth is, these are early career skills that can be used in many different fields. And you heard Josh saying that, he wish he could go on and there is more to learn. The truth is, they have CXC next year and I don't want to interfere with their formation. But once they are through the door is open in my company, they will be hired and they can continue to work. So you can advance in your skills, and I'm praying for others to come along. My mission was to give you a foundation, all right? And to open your eyes to awaken possibility, as Darron likes to say. That was the mission of this program. So let me go to the certification, my slide. And I'm saying congratulations. I'm so proud of you guys. And just hearing what you said this evening made me really proud. So I'm just gonna play this so that persons can see. So Danielle is being certified as a book formatter and a transcriptionist. Jalili is a book formatter and a transcriptionist. Martin, our valedictorian, is a book formatter and illustrator. And I'm going to be getting them the physical certificate. So you're a certified publishing services provider, Danielle. You successfully completed the Design to Win Academy's requirement to work as a book formatter and transcriptionist, helping authors to publish their books. Now, just one of these skills alone can give you a full-time income and a good life. There is a Jamaican, Leighton, I think her last name is Price, that is building a mansion somewhere in this country from just transcription services alone. There are people who make a living from just book formatting alone. 7 jobs or 5 jobs can give you between $500 and $1,000 each month. That's the power of the skills that you guys have earned. And no, there is still room for mastery, but just focus on the CXC next year. And then at the end of CXCs, there's a place for you at Extra Mile Innovators Limited and Bamboo Sparks. So focus on your studies. So congratulations. Send up some hearts for her, please. And her name is spelled correctly. It is Danielle, not with an LLE, but Danielle as you see it. Martin Lloyd Williams. Congratulations, you are a certified book formatter and illustrator. And I know you're going to be a wonderful animator, a designer. There is just so much in you. There's just so much in you. And I was honored to just be able to unearth some of that. But you and your family, you're going places, but this is just a start. One of the things I appreciated about Martin, just like with his speech, all I needed to do was send Martin a video and a template and say a speech should include this. He does his own research. He is a learner, and that's the attitude that will take you very far. So congratulations, Martin Lloyd Williams. Jolly Lee Heath, he is the orator in our midst. He's a quick learner, and he's gonna go places. He's good in football, and he wants to become a lawyer and do all kinds of things. And so he's a book formatter and transcriptionist. And I know this is just a start. So I'm looking forward to all of you mashing up CXCs next year. Congratulations, congratulations. And I want to thank the parents. I have a photo here of Mrs. Williams. This is Martin and Daniel's mom, and she's getting a copy of the book. Now, each of the graduates will get a copy of the book. The books are here, just need to be cleared, and they will get it. So the book is dedicated to Sean Brown, Antoinette, that's Antoinette Salmon, Martin, Josh, and Daniel, Inspiring Young Achievers. And to the parents, Kenisha Dunbar Brown, Sean Brown, Allanzo Williams, and Paulette Mackenzie Williams. Inspiring parents who identified and nurtured the dreams of their children from early. The book is also dedicated to future young achievers, and it is a tool for parents, guidance counselors, anybody, and the young people involved in nurturing young people to become successful holistically. This is the book that you need for your training program. And it showcases their work. And there's a surprise for them that's gonna come in 2022, and we're ending with this. All that you earned is going to be matched. So that is our gift to you. And we're looking for some sponsors to match what each of them earned, and you can contact me so that we can present this gift to them in 2022. So whatever they earned, we're going to match that and give them as a gift. And then there is the valedictorian, the High Achievers Award. Martin is going to get that in the new year, and we're looking for a sponsor for that as well. All that you've seen here over the 3 years has been mostly I am the one who has sponsored it. I got part sponsorship for our field trip, but outside of that, it's been my effort, my resources, obeying what God has put on my heart. And so I'm inviting others to partner. Let's just continue to encourage them, match what they've earned, and give that to them as a gift. It can help with a subject, it can help with something. And I just want to say congratulations. I look forward to working with you in the future and seeing you grow. This is not the end of it. This is just a comma. It's not a full stop. And wish you all the best. Our MC, we're gonna get you a copy of the book as well. Mr. Hilaire, you're supposed to get your autograph copy, but I know you bought yours online. And I just want to say thank you so much for all you've done, and congrats, young achievers. That's it. Over to you, Coach Tash, as we bring the program to a close.
Thank you so very much. We'll now have, I think, a presentation to the parents that went, or
yeah, that went.
All right, so we'll now have the vote of thanks by Jalili Heath. And before I get out of the way, I really just want to thank each and every one of you on Facebook and those who really stayed with us throughout this entirety of the program. Thank you very, very much. Don't forget to share. Sharing can't be enough, it can't be too much. I mean, it was a powerful word that landed tonight, and you just can't keep it to yourself. So much wisdom. Thank you once again. Have a great evening. Over to you, Jalili.
Good night again, everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Darron for speaking. He has left us with a lot of encouragement, and he has spoken a lot. I even went for a pencil and a paper and started to write to how much his words are encouraging, and I wanted to remember it and keep it close to my heart and have it as a daily reminder so that I keep focused and keep going, maximize my full potential, and just avoid being successful in the wrong things, and not to speed up, but to slow down. So I want to thank you, Mr. Darron, for speaking. You have encouraged us all, for sure. I even see in the comments where people are thanking you for you have been an encouragement. I want to thank everyone that has took time out of the day today to come here and celebrate with us our graduation and the book launch. I know that many of you could, had things that you could have been doing, but you took the time. So I want to thank you all. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you to our MC. She has been a good MC. She has been very good. She has been very good. And thank you for the item. It was very good. I didn't know that you could sing that well. Thank you for that. And lastly, I want to thank our principal and our mentor, Kamika Roosdale. I mean, she has just been a blessing in our lives. She has been patient, she has been hardworking, and she has been very, very, very good to us. I don't know how she do it. I mean, sometimes we would not be managing our time well and not be doing homework, and she would just be patient telling us to do it and just encouraging us to manage our time and to manage our money in which we earn, so that we don't spend it all on one thing and then have nothing, but to manage our money well, so that we might have 5% to spend. We give 5% to charity or to the church. So thank you, Kamika. You have been a blessing to us, and we thank you for the time and effort you have given to us. I know that you haven't been feeling very well recently, and I know that you pulled through to set up this graduation for us. So thank you. And I want to say that we don't just love you. We don't just want to thank you, but we also love you. So thank you very much.
Wow.
There you have it. We have come to the end of our program. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Any last words, Principal? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, all of this stuff caused me to get a little confused monitoring the thing. And Coach Tash, I just want to thank you. You've done a fabulous job holding the program together, and you didn't hesitate. And the Lord placed you, just like how I would have dreams of these young men and Daniel and them. I get dreams of you and see what God is doing in your life. So you're not here by accident, and you've done a wonderful job, and you're gonna go places. You're gonna go places, and you'll be honored for what you've done, and just we thank you for the sacrifice. And so I thank everyone who took the time to come this evening to celebrate with us. This is history in the making. It's our first graduation and book launch of the Design to Win Academy. And as Darron said, it will become a household name. It will spread across the Caribbean. We received those prophetic words. And what Martin said took the cake. That he would rather this any day over regular school. Yeah, I'm speechless. And that they found it fun. I was wondering if I was being boring, and I did my research and I tried to make it fun. So I'm happy that they found it fun. So thanks everyone for coming. I'm gonna end the live. And then if anybody wants to stick around just to ask questions, to talk, you may do so. So I'm just going to give 5 or 10 minutes for post formalities, just to lime a little. But thank you all for watching, and congratulations, everyone.